2025. Time is 6 p.m. Would everyone please stand for the prayer and the pledge?
Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather in your name, we invite your divine presence to be with us during this meeting. May your Spirit guide our thoughts, words, and actions that we will take to help resolve the issues that confront us. We ask that you bless and protect our first responders and our men and women in the military and our local law enforcement who are those of us who are not stationed in the United States. We wish that you protect all of our military. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Councilor. Pledge to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
State of Texas.
On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Take roll call, please.
Mayor Chris Barr.
I'm here.
Councilmember Mitchell Davis.
Here.
Councilmember Christopher Ellis.
Here.
Councilmember Jerry Reasoner.
Here.
Councilmember Greg Parton.
Here.
Councilmember Larry Sanders.
Here.
City Attorney Scott Francis.
Here.
City Engineer Greg Phipps.
Here.
Chief of Police Chief Carlock.
Here.
City Secretary Rick Campbell. City Administrator Chuck Esper. Here.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we are going to move into our public comments. You know I like to listen and like to get into long conversations, but we are going to start getting back to our 3-minute presentation for public speaking. You know, the rules are for public speaking, you can get up here and talk about anything you want, let council hear your opinion, but we really can't discuss that. It can't turn into a discussion, especially if it's not on our agenda. So, but I do welcome anyone to come up and speak in public comments. I mean, you may have a tape measure and be running around measuring grass, and you just want to give us an update, and we welcome that. So at this time, I'd like to call Linda Stewart to the podium, please.
My name's Linda Stewart. I live on Magnolia Bend here in Roman Forest. I just wanted to remind everyone of the schedule. There are 5 days left for voting. Tomorrow and Wednesday from 8 to 5 at Bull Salvage Park. Thursday and Friday it's from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. And then of course election day is from 7 to 7 at Woodbridge City Hall. Aside from City Council, it's also important to look over and vote on the 17 propositions. If you already got your tax bill, if you look at the bottom, it's a little asterisk because your reduction in your amount of tax that you're paying is based on those propositions passing. So that if they do not pass, it will go back to the other rate on your tax bill. So I can say it's important to get out and make sure that those propositions pass. Also, I left with Mr. Castleberry voter registration cards that'll be here because we do have an important primary in March, which will have us electing our county and state officials. So I hope you get out, and if you're not registered, to stop by here and register to vote. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilman Parton, you're going to be up next for public speaking.
So Roman Forest is my home. I've driven about the city. I'm a resident here in Roman Forest. Been a resident for 12 years. I'm not going to stand up here and make promises that I can't keep and I can't guarantee. What I will promise you is that I will continue to work for this city to provide the value that I've been providing, which is crafting and modifying ordinances as the city requires them, fighting for our police department and their needs, fighting for our residents' safety, their home values, and their well-being in this little paradise that we have. So I'm asking for your vote for 2 more years so that I can continue working on projects that I'm currently working on. Again, my name is Greg Parton, and I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
So we also have our state rep here, Janice Holt. Janice, I'll give you 3 minutes time if you'd like it, ma'am.
I won't take 3 minutes for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Council, mayor, council members, thank you for what you do for the city here of Roman Forest. I'm just here just to listen and learn what's going on over here in Roman Forest and be able to help with anything from the state that you need. Please be sure and reach out. I'll be happy to help in any way that we can. So thank you for coming out. I love to see citizen participation. So thank you for all that you do for your dedication to the area. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that was it. Yeah, please. That was all of them?
Just
One more, yes, okay. Okay, council, moving on to consent agenda items. This is item 6. Let's look, this is consider and approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting dated September 22nd, 2025. This was a regular city council meeting. Also in your packet, council, the maintenance report for review, court report, and permit report for the move on to the financial report. Go ahead.
Can I say something about the permit report?
Absolutely.
That just point out this new on there that hasn't been on there before.
Okay.
But, fourth one from the bottom, you'll see the through truck permit that was passed at I think the August meeting. And that was the 29 permits that were written in that last month before the budget year ended. So that was a lot of work with Josh getting that done, and then working with the companies that were coming through, not through the city, but coming through the city limits in the back on Tram and Galaxy, getting to that pipeline that they're working on, but they all had to come in and get permits for the size of the trucks. We didn't allow them on the bridge because of the weight of the vehicles, but that's a new line that'll start being on all your reports. But that number was significant enough to bring up to show you that what you guys did passing that ordinance is a really good thing for our city. So thank you for doing that. And thanks to Josh for being able to work with those companies and make it consistent for everybody, so it's not just a one-for-one, the different rules. So thank you.
end of September, the general fund is $731,637. Reserve fund, $392,063. Assets, $15,213. FEMA, $279,210. COVID, $359,649. The capital projects is $38,994. And the debt service, $178,311. Which brings a total of $1,995,671 for the end of September.
We'll let them review a little bit, and if they have any questions, they'll ask. You can start anytime, Scott.
Sir,
This is the city administrator.
city administrator report. That's, one thing before, that's not really part of the events committee, not really part of administration, but on, the city, Roman Forest community Facebook page, Miss Brenda Troy, I don't know her, but she has gone and made a map for all the parents for kids for trick-or-treating in Roman Forest. And it starts at the fire station, and she's got all these houses, got all the parents to send her their houses, their address if they were going to participate. It's a nice little map. I looked at it today, so I just wanted to put that out there for people that are listening tonight at home, that if you go on the Roman Forest Community Facebook page, there's a nice little map. I did not count the number of houses, but I mean, it's 30 plus in reply. So just something to, keep your kids safe and have places you can go that, are going to be lit up and giving out candy, not dark and not handing out anything. So,
What was her name?
Brenda Troit, Troit. I hope I'm saying it right. So let's move on to the events committee. October 7th was the National Night Out, which was held at the Roman Forest Park. Lots of food, fun, great opportunity for us to meet our neighbors in Roman Forest. Had a good turnout, a great night for everyone involved. This past Saturday, we had the trunk or treat, and it was across the street, hosted by the Grace Village Church. So we want to give a big thank you to them. As you all know, about 5:30 it started raining, and so that event, they opened up their gym and let the event move inside. So a big thanks to them for giving us that opportunity to have somewhere to go and get out of the rain. Not as big a turnout as we normally have, but still, the events committee did a great job putting it on. We had a good number of people there. November 15th, that's a Saturday. That will be the next coffee and donut to meet your neighbors at City Hall, and it starts at 9:30. That's also going to be in conjunction with Chief Jeff Campbell putting together a Roman Forest Police blood drive, and that's from 10 to 2. So you can come out, have some donuts and coffee after you maybe give some blood, or eat the coffee and donut first and then go get blood. But they're going to be on the same day. They're both going to be here at City Hall. So thanks, Officer Campbell, for putting that together, and thanks to the events committee for always providing us something nice for the residents to be able to come out and meet and talk and get to know people that you don't know. The car show Hot Rods in the Park is going to be on November 22nd. It's going to be from noon to 2. The lineup starts at 11:30, and that's going to be hosted across the street in the Grace Village parking lot also. And it's also going to be in conjunction with Toys for Police things. Once again, Officer Campbell putting that together. And Chief, I'm giving you no love today. All right, Chief Carlisle's putting together the toy drive in conjunction with the Hot Rods in the Park. And then last on the events committee, the annual Christmas tree lighting will be on Thursday night this year, December the 4th, here at City Hall. Dogwood Elementary Choir will start it off at 5 o'clock with the lighting of the tree to follow. The Grinch will be here, Santa will be here, there'll be drinks and games and fun inside, so come out and bring your kids. Once again, it starts at 5 with the singing, and then the lighting of the Christmas tree when they finish somewhere between 5:20 and 5:30 probably. But that's the events committee. Thank you for the two of y'all for all you do to keep that going. We appreciate it. Did I miss anything on the events? Got it?
Tree
Good.
house lighting.
The house decorating contest. Are you going to do that next week?
I don't know, Sean. The
House decorating.
House decorating, shut up.
We're not talking about the house decorating yet.
Okay.
The nuns are here. They won first place. Trying to. You're talking about the Christmas decorating?
Yeah.
Yes, there will be Christmas decorating contest again. First, second, and third place.
Yes.
Yes. Administration report. Not to steal from Ms. Stewart, but early voting is ongoing this week. 8 to 5 tomorrow and Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday at 7 to 7. And then on election day, next Tuesday, it's at the Wood Branch City Hall. So make sure you don't go to the Salas Park to vote on Tuesday. That will be at Wood Branch City Hall. A big thank you to Hank Vatt, sitting in the back of the room, and Studio 13 Media for hosting the candidate forum. All the candidates are running for city council positions. Very informative night for our voting community residents to hear about what each candidate believes coming up. On Halloween night, Roman Forest Fire Station number 152 at the back is hosting a Halloween event for children of all ages 6 to 8:30. Candy handouts, the kids will be able to meet firemen, tour the fire station, get on the fire trucks. There's also one at New Caney and Splendora. Drainage improvement at the front of Roman Forest that was supposed to start today, tearing out the road. They ran into a problem called rain this weekend, and it was still part of the reason what they're doing is taking out that one 36-inch pipe and putting the 3 in. They couldn't really get in there today. They hope to be able to start it tomorrow, but the traffic backup might not start till Wednesday. So be patient. It's probably going to be all week. We're going to change the sign up front to say all week, but just remember it's going to go to one lane. Just be patient. You're going to have to wait ever so often, but it will go quick, and traffic will flow very fast. But that's a little delay on that, but we do appreciate Commissioner Gray and what they're doing, changing that out for the city. Something that I needed to report to City Council is that energy, on our last 2 energy bills, we had an additional charge of $307 and some change. What that came from is in 2021, they put 28 lights in between the end of original Roman Forest and back to Galaxy. But nobody ever turned it on onto a record. No one ever built it. No one ever did anything with it. And they did an audit last month, caught it, and that's how it ended up being our bill. They are not going to back charge us. It'll just be something that's on there from now on for those 28 lights. And if you've driven Roman Forest lately on the boulevard, all our lights are working right now. Yes, some of them are a little different colored than the other ones. Working on that, but I'll take that they're all lit right now over some of them that are out. But that's why you'll hear us talking about that we're gonna have to make up that difference in the budget.
So that's roughly gonna offset what they pay for rights to be in the Roman Forest Boulevard easement now anyway, right? They pay us roughly $40,000 a year, and that's gonna pretty much wipe that out of our budget.
Well, what it'll do is it'll give us more kilowatt hours. We're gonna make a little more money in our franchise fees. But when you multiply it out by the 12 months, you're talking $3,600, $4,000
versus $39,000. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is about 4,000. So.
Yes, sir.
Comprehensive plan. when the city council, when you passed that last month, it was under the agreement that if there were comments that you wanted to make, that you would send those to me and I would give those to Baxter and Woodman, and they would be able to make some updates. I only received comments from Councilman Davis. So I guess at this time I'm going to say that if you have other ones that you want to add to that, now's the time. Otherwise, I'm going to send you what Councilman Davis put in there. Do you mind if I read the 5 things that your topics? You okay with that? What he would like is any reference to affordable or attainable housing, those words to be taken out. Remove all reference to curb and gutter. Remove all reference to landscape requirements. Remove the plan to cover drainage at Roman Forest Boulevard. And then remove the reference to half-acre lots to revise to half-acre and greater.
I think they have quarter acre in there. They said quarter acre to a half, but we don't have many quarter acre lots, and I don't think we want the lots subdivided down to a quarter acre.
So there's about 30 tabs that it would change. So what I would do is give that to Kristen at the company. She would change that. I'll send out the email. You can reply straight back to me, and I'll reply as a group. And then I'll make the changes with them, and then I'll get that back as a final copy. Okay? Any questions about that? Yes, sir.
I do have one question, not to the comprehensive plan, but on voting, I've heard mixed things. Is early voting only at Bull Salas Park, or I've been told it's also in Patton Village?
No, it's all at Bull Salas Park.
Only at Bull Salas.
The Friendship Center. Okay, that's what it's called.
They are at Patton Village.
They are at Patton Village too? I did not ever see
Well,
that.
that's where the confusion came in. I just want to make sure that everybody knows if there's one designated spot or if there's multiple they can go to, and I don't know the answer. But I would just like to
My
get it
understanding was it was
clarified.
all at Bull Salas, but since I got some candidates here,
That was my understanding up until Thursday night, so.
You can vote anywhere in the county right now.
Anywhere in
You
the
can vote in Conroe if you want.
Okay.
for ours,
So early voting, not on voting day. Voting day
voting
is
day, you
only
have to
at
go
Woodbridge.
to
But
Woodbridge.
right now, you can vote anywhere in the county, not just your designated voting area. That answers your question. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Oh, no.
There we go. So while Mr. Campbell gets me hooked back up here, over the past couple of weeks, I've been visiting with different companies about park equipment. And each one that I talked to gave them some parameters of things that we wanted as a city. And yes, the number one thing that comes from people that talk to me or call me or email me or even put it on Facebook is they want to see some, thank you, they want to see some slides up at the park. And if you've never bought park equipment before, it's an interesting animal there. And it's a few dollars. But, so what I wanted to do tonight was let everybody see it, because I wanted the people of the city to be able to see it also. Just the different looks of things that have come in. So first one was Playwell that turned in one. Can you tell it's not my computer? All right, let me go back up here. Sorry. There we go. So.
And there it is.
They're free. All right, now I got it. All right, so Playwell, they gave us a look with a couple of slides. They did a spiral slide, and then they did a different slide on the back side. A straight one, the spiral slide was a 6-foot slide. The other one was a 4-foot. They did some overhead bars and a few other things with theirs. When I said I wanted to see slides in my presentation, I wanted more than what they presented. I asked her to maybe give some more, but as of today, this was all that I had from them. The next one is All Play. And All Play sent 3 pictures in. Theirs is a little different. Okay. So they put the 2 slides on. You can see them on the right side over there, and they added a little twirl merry-go-round for 4 kids. Their slide is 2 7-foot slides, then with 2 4-foot slides, and I believe they had a rock climbing wall on theirs also. Let me show you the other side of theirs. That's the side with the 2 slides, and they got the rock climbing wall, and then that's the 2 4-foot slides that come along with it, stairs that go up, and then the bridge that kids can play on. And then last, this is just a backside view of the same thing from them. And then the next one is Craftsman. Just so you know, Craftsman is also the company that put in our splash pad years ago. So they were familiar with our park. And they sent in 3 options. So theirs, on the option 1, they've got 2 6-foot slides, and then the 1 2.5-foot slide. They got overhead bars, and that's the back side of it with a little rock climbing wall that's about 4 feet, and some jumping things over on the left side over there. So they've got a little bit more, but they did the 3 slides on option 1. They also sent in on option 2 option 2 had 2 8-foot slides, and those are them on the right side. I did not like, as a grandparent, the way it went underneath. I just see kids jumping from one to the other. I see some safety issues. So what I asked them to do, I said, can you take that and do something different with that? And that's how we got to option 3 that they sent in. So when they did option 3, they just made those on the same side. That's 2 8-foot slides. Then you'll see on the back side, they've got the 3 5-foot slides and the 1 3-foot slide for the little kids, the overhead bars, and then the climbing ladder that goes to the top. One of the things that they did also when they came out, this was the only company that came out and met with me that actually talked to me and walked me through some different things that I was unaware of. The area right here that you see, at the top, right here, see my mouse? That's the existing one that's up there that the Montgomery County Improvement District bought a few years back. And what they're going to do with theirs is they are going to open it up, leave that's a wheelchair ramp right here, and open it up so it's one big playground. So it's all in one. What we are right now is we're out of compliance. We don't have the mulch that's supposed to be in the original one. But he also pointed out to me that over here on the right side where our swing sets are, that we're supposed to have the same thing. And their price includes mulching that into and putting the barrier around that also. The other 2 companies that came in said that, well, that's only if you want to do it. The other guy said, no, you're out of compliance. You're not. And you know, in the old school district days, I can remember having to put the mulch in, but I never understood the barrier and how it had to be. So they came in, they walked us through, opened that up, made it into a bigger one, and then down here at the bottom, they also put, the top one is called a quad saw. It's a 4-person seesaw. Really a neat looking thing. There's one up at the park here in Splendora. I might have sent people that work for the city over there just to see what they thought of it. And yeah, it was pretty good. And these down here are some sit and spin things. These are for special needs kids. And they added this to it, also a couple of those, and then the one right here, I think that that's more for like autistic kids. But it's just something where their parents can take them and put them in there, but they can spin like the other kids. So got a couple of those things added. Anyway, when you put it all onto the playground area, it goes all the way from, that would be their new system. And then those are the 4 things that they added. Maintenance crew will have to come in. We've got to take a park bench out if this is the one we went with. And we also would have to take out an existing 1975 seesaw. That probably needs to come out. But those are the 3 that we've got. It's nothing on the agenda tonight. I'm not bringing anything asking for a vote tonight. But I'm giving you an idea of what it is. And we're looking at what we would like to do. I will tell you from talking to the people, dealing with the people, this group was easier to deal with. They're looking out for our best interest. They put a lot more time into it. They didn't just send me pictures of something they had in a brochure. They put that together with what it would look like, and then even had to do it a second and third time when I asked for a different look with those slides. But those are the 3 companies, 6 different looks that we have. And then in your packet, you can see, I'm sorry. No, it's not in your packet. I didn't put it in there because it wasn't going to go to a vote tonight.
So I was just going to ask, given that they're not all the same scope, what is the price range from low to high?
Price range for this one, when you added the 4 extra things in, is $110,000. When you go back to the one before that, with the slides that went underneath, that was 86, but it didn't include the 4 extra things. And it also didn't include widening out the play thing with more mulch. That's where more of the cost comes in. The play well was right at $70,000. It was one with just 2 slides. And then the all play with the 4 slides came in at $97,000 with no additional equipment.
With the mulch and the barrier for the slides?
Had the mulch and the barrier, but didn't do, none of the other companies did the swing sets. And none of them used the other one, so we could save money on an additional, Craftsman created a whole playground for kids. The other ones are kind of made it a little separate, which would have saved you some money, but it doesn't in the end because we still got to put the same number of mulch in there. So anyway, those are your 3 companies, your 6 different looks. Then we have some budget amendments that are going to come next month to you. And that's where the extra money that we would be able to put into that budget that was already created back, that was approved for October 1st, we would be able to add that additional then to get any of the 3. So that is what we got. Any questions about playgrounds tonight other than, wow, they are expensive? But I will tell you this, all 3 companies did a great job of trying to meet the parameters, but from what I've heard from our residents, they want some slides for their kids. Nobody will let me buy the steel slides from the old days that burn you on the way down. So I'm going to have to go with the plastic look. But these are the ones we're looking at. So, any questions about it?
I miss the old stainless steel ones myself.
Just take the old 36-inch pipe and lean it up against the wall. There you go.
All you people at home on the live stream, can't see it on the screens, you're more than welcome to come by. I'll show it to you in my office. I don't mind pulling it up so you can see it also. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Next item, police report. Chief, you're up.
There is 2 locations.
Oh, for 2 locations, one,
One is Windor, one is East County.
Okay.
All right. It's kind of hard to follow that one. So, me and Captain Campbell, we were at the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement Conference when the meeting happened last month, and that's the reason I wasn't here. Unit 25, our Dodge Pursuit, the one we got from New Jersey, it is in limited service right now. It's missing a radio, and we're waiting on the camera to be installed. So we're using it, but we're not using it for full boat patrol. It should be ready pretty soon. K9 Attila officially retired following his final assignment at the National Night Out. If anybody was there, that was his last day. So he's officially retired. We did a little retirement party for him. And a notable incident that happened, I want to make sure everybody knows that this is something that just happens. A kid ran away from Liberty County and wound up here in Roman Forest, on Roman Forest Boulevard at Exxon on tram. At the exact same time, at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock, right? At 6 o'clock in the morning, a known cartel member and sex offender affiliate was picked up by ICE at 6 o'clock on Roman Forest Boulevard at the Exxon over there. The girl over here, we were suspecting based on the interviews with her, she left home. She was only 12 years old. She had met somebody online, is what the best we could figure, and she was going to meet somebody. We were not able to put them two together. We talked to ICE. We found out about this later in the day. We talked to ICE, and they had their federal people, their federal version of ICAC, worked it, and they did their thing. We did our thing. We also have a couple officers on the Internet Crimes Against Children thing. We passed that on to them, but we were never able to link the two together. So I think he's just getting deported. And whatever they do on their end is none of our business. But I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention that was our suspicions. What are the odds of Exxon on Roman Forest Boulevard and Exxon on Roman Forest Boulevard at the same exact time, and he was over there waiting. He was in a parking spot as if he was waiting. I talked to a community person in the community over in Plum Grove to help me talk to the parents, make sure they were fully aware of everything, and they did. And the parents are fully aware, they were concerned and everything. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that types of stuff does happen. And although we didn't find the relationship between the two, it could have been. I don't believe in coincidences, but it could have been. So I just wanted to mention that. And something I'm actually really proud of. September 12th, they have a day for everybody. September 12th was National Police Women's Day. So I pointed out on Facebook that we have 42% of our officers are female, and 13% is the national average. So I'm proud of that. I work with them really close, and they do an awesome job for us, and I just wanted to point that out. So their contributions to our community are definitely deeply valued. Our department has received numerous complaints about pocket bikes and go-karts. So a lot of people see a lot of pocket bikes and go-karts. We use common sense policing on that. If they're riding around in a little cul-de-sac, we don't care. Unless we're getting complaints that they're tearing it up, being too loud, whatever it is, we leave them alone. But when you get out here on the boulevard and get out in the, you know, the busy part of the day and offending people and they actually call in to complain, we will do something. So I put it out on Facebook as a reminder that pocket fights and go-karts are illegal anywhere on the road, sidewalks, anywhere. So, but we do use common sense policing on that. We don't, if they're in a cul-de-sac and nobody has a problem with it, we're gonna leave them alone. So, and it's not just kids riding these things. These are grown adults in their 20s riding them too. So I just wanted to point that out too. And something to help Scott out a little bit, I just wanted to point out that we had a bad year as far as vacancies in the police force. So we had a lot of leftover salary money that we're not going to be using. And I'm sure that will be reflected in the report from the city administrator next month. So if you look at that, you'll see there's a significant amount of money left over there. So we're not going to be using it. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I want to plug in, this will probably be in next month's report, but our code enforcement officers really been stepping it up. I know there's been a lot of people right here at this podium and talking about code enforcement. And, you know, he started code enforcement in October, but it was very minimal. He was learning permitting because we combined the permitting and code enforcement together. He started learning permitting, so code enforcement did get a little bit behind. So I started training him about the same time people started stepping up to this podium, talking about code enforcement. So he has stepped up quite a bit now. He's learned a lot, and he's been making a lot of good strides in trying to clear some of these up. And a lot of it, I'm trying to get him to the proactive thing. But if I was to put a percentage on it, he's probably only 20% proactive because of all the people that's been complaining about code enforcement. So we're catching up on all that, which has been a good training tool. But one thing he did recently, the burn ban was happening, and he was on his day off. We were off because of the holiday. I was working on my house. He was just driving by, and he was going to take care of something at City Hall that he really didn't have to do that day, but he was going to do it. So he's coming here, and he saw fire, smoke coming up, so he said, I'm going to go check on that. And I saw at the same time, pulled in behind him, and I saw the fence was catching on fire, and it had spread from his burn pit to this guy's fence, which his fence caught on fire, it catch his house on fire. So Josh went up there, slammed his hand on the side of the house to get the owner's attention, grabbed his hose, turned it on, and started putting the fire out. I was behind him fixing to call Firecom, but I gave up on calling Firecom because he'd already had it most of the way out. So he did a really good job, and I didn't want it to go unsaid. So I know you've been hearing from a lot of people about backlog and code enforcement. I want y'all to hear something positive. So y'all got any questions?
Thank you, Chief.
Oh, I got new magnets, refrigerator magnets. This is for the public here. The sheriff came in and he solved our problem with the backlog and dispatch by changing the number. And I have just made refrigerator magnets. So what I'm wanting everybody to do is take this refrigerator magnet, put it on your refrigerator, take the old one and throw it away, cut it in half. Because I don't want to call the old number, I want to call the new number. So I've got some of these set out over here. Grab one, throw your old one away, but you're going to get one in the mail. I talked to the water department, and over in PUD 3, I've already given them a bunch of magnets to put in the water bill, and tomorrow I'm bringing them over to, more of them over to Consolidated PUD, and they're going to put them in the water bill, so you'll get one in the water bill. There's going to be a handful that's on the electronic billing that I'm going to have to stamp myself at whatever it is, 76 cents a stamp. No, I might hand it. But anyway, these are over here. I'll put more right here. Y'all need them.
All right, thank you, Chief. I don't know, that was a pretty good follow you did there.
I can't beat the parking.
I don't know, let's see if it's perfect. All right, council, any questions on anything under item 6, consent agenda items? If not, I will just need a motion and a second to approve as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve all of our admin, our previous business meetings, minutes, and what we discussed. That's okay.
Okay, motion on the floor, Councilman Sanders, to approve consent agenda items as presented. Do I have a second? Councilman Reasoner, seconds. All in favor of approval? It is unanimous. Moving on to item 7, discuss and consider the status of the following projects, if any action required.
Good evening. Number 7, start with drainage improvements. We did have our inspector out here on Sunday the 12th. There was a permit work that was being done. So he came out, spent about 4 hours while that was being done. And as far as we know, everything was taken care of that day for that permit. Nothing to act on there. I don't have anything on road improvements, but development improvements. So the second sheet in your package, the third sheet in your package is an aerial of a proposed relocation of a water meter. It's the 12-inch master water meter between Consolidated Mud and Mud 3. Right now, it's sitting in the north roadside ditch across from Redbud, perfectly placed at the outfall that goes to the north that will be improved at some point here in the near future. And so they have requested that we look at approving or giving no objection to moving that meter vault. It's all underground with the meter vault out into the median so that they can clear that right away for future drainage improvements. I don't know if the council needs to act on that.
I think it was just, if I'm not mistaken, Scott, they don't have to vote on that. It was just, we're just informing them that Ryan is, the buds and the muds are moving it to the median and out of the outfall.
Okay. So, information, as you see that work being done. And then the next stapled item that you have is to be the Roman Force Monument sign at 59 Railroad. So we as an I went out last week and inspected that sign. We have 8 24-inch reinforced concrete columns that are about 20 foot in height. You can see my report. What I don't know is what kind of foundation they have. They're encased at the bottom with the concrete pool and steps. So until we know what kind of foundation they have and what kind of connection there is, do some exploratory there. I'm not certain as to what we can do with the columns, but they can be repurposed. As the mayor told me tonight, those came from Galveston.
Galveston County.
And so, ideally, we would go out and take some of that concrete off on the steps and see what it is. And if they can be repurposed, then they can be taken down and stored, at the very least stored to be used at a different location. Those columns do have a steel cap on them for a connection point for the facade, the cap facade on it. The cap facade is, for the most part, the skin is gone. It's not salvageable. It's a thin metal. Looks like on one location maybe a piece of wood he's put up there as a replacement. But it needs to come down. That is not repurposed to be used. So, and then Inside that, the skeleton, looks like there's some I-beams in there, some seat channel, maybe some flat iron in there. It appears from underneath that it's bolted, not welded, although I suspect that it is welded at the caps. So we can get up and see exactly what it is. I can't make recommendations for reuse on it, but that's what we have there. And then as far as the pool goes, it's all concrete. It just needs to be demoed when everything comes out. There's nothing there to salvage other than they have to make minimums. So my 5 observations are there in the bottom as to what to do with it. And it's just a matter of once it comes down, as it comes down, we just have to see what can be salvaged and what cannot be salvaged.
So it looks like at this point, probably the column, the posts themselves would be the only thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the posts, the columns they're solid concrete. They're reinforced solid concrete. So if they can be used somewhere else in the future, certainly, and the foundation easily removed, they can be self-up and used.
Whichever one, doesn't matter.
The concrete columns themselves, how do they have something that grabs those and lifts them out of the ground? How do they go about removing those?
So there would be, you would come in and take the top off, everything, the cap off of it, then they would put a track hoe in, most likely a track hoe, hold up against it, and then demo the foundation out one at a time. And then just pick the track hoe and pick that column up to the right side of the track hoe.
If they are drill shafts not anchored by the base plate, which I doubt it is by base plate due to the fact that it's just, there's no footing for it to really sit on. Those, if they put it on a pile and come on up, they may be 10 foot, 15 foot in the ground, 20 foot in the air. We'll never be able to use it.
Yeah, that's what I'm just not sure of. Did they put a pile in and then set this on top, some sort of a weld connection, or with it being moved from Galveston to here for reuse, depending on how deep these are, they varies. There's a lot of different combinations that we can find, and until we know, until we open one up, we just don't know.
Okay.
Question about the water meter relocation. For the pipes that they're redirecting, it's 12-inch pipes, are they boring under Roman Forest, or are they open cutting the road? My only request is if they're open cutting the road, that you or somebody inspect what they put back for base, and when they redo it, that it's not just pushed back in there with a mini excavator and called good.
Okay.
Going back to the columns, it's a shame, there's a book that existed, it was a binder that had the history of, the pictures of those columns being moved from Galveston to here. And that book was in the possession of the city 3 administrations ago. And that book unfortunately disappeared from this building. So, yeah. Unfortunately, so yeah, there was a history on it that was in a binder. So anyway, I know over the years we've all searched everywhere in this building and it's not here. So that book ended up somewhere. Yeah. Anyway.
On a shelf somewhere.
It's on a shelf.
So that's all I have to report on item 7.
Any questions on 7? You can stay up there though. Any questions on item 7? Moving on to item 8, consider items related to police station building expansion. Taking any action required.
Okay, so we had a meeting on the 30th of September with city personnel, chief, your captain, the architect was online, and then the 2 designated council members, and went over the project. There's a floor plan that was developed from that. There's one item on this floor plan that we know has to come off, and that is the conference room, that second door, which is the inside door closest to the offices. That's a secure area, so that will come out. But everything else is addressed here. I heard from Councilman Davis, was good with it, that we make sure that the items inside the existing building that need to be addressed will be included on the project. We will do that. There's a door that we may have to put in here. That's a fire egress. If we have to do that, we'll address it, and we'll put each of these items. Some things the chief said that can be done by the city, but we'll put those items in as alternate items into the bid, specific for each item, so that we have pricing for that, and then that will be will need to be determined as the pricing comes in. What can be done by the contractor, under contract, and what can be done by city portions. So what we're asking for is council's consideration to approve this floor plan with the knowledge that the wall may move here and there slightly, just to make something work. Ideally, but this is the floor plan that we're asking council to consider approval of, and so we can start full plan sets.
Discussion, questions, Councilman? Yes. You and I had talked about some things, it sounds like those got addressed.
I think everything's been addressed in there, and as Greg said, the only thing we wanted was for the renovations in the existing part of City Hall, that they be given a priority of a 1, 2, and 3, whatever. The 1 is included in the base bid. There are must-haves, like replacing the front door. There was some work on the backside for the restroom and the server area and a few other things, that those are have-to-haves, and then the others are included as alternates, that money and time permitting, we will include those in the work that's done.
I agree with that. Yes, sir.
Where's the stairs to the second floor?
So the stairs, that is one of the items that we are looking for. You'll see the server. There's a gap right now between the garage door and the office. That would be a server closet. And then we're looking at the stairs in there, which direction we want to take those stairs to meet code. And then also, what is the easiest way to get up into the attic for its full use for storage, both over the existing here and then what will be over the building.
The other issue is where the ham radio room is at, we have to have an egress through an emo box or something to get outside to run our coax cables or antennas. And we probably want to discuss that because there's also going to be lightning suppression built into that box, so if we take a lightning hit, the lightning doesn't come on in the room, and how we handle the grounding for that.
Okay, yeah, we'll address that specifically for your hand radio equipment. And we'll, whatever we've got to do through that wall or take it under these slabs.
Okay, Council, any other questions on this? So at this time, we would need to approve the plans and specifications that you presented to us. Do we need to go ahead and authorize the advertisement for the bids?
Now, what I'm asking is to approve this floor plan.
Okay.
That will allow, although we've already started, that will allow us to do full plans.
Okay.
And depending on the schedule, we'll probably be in here at the December meeting with full plans and specifications for you to approve.
So you just want us to give approval on this particular floor plan so you can get the master plan done?
Yeah, the full plan set. And we'll work with both of the councilmen as we develop these plans to make sure that everything's going and they're full.
You good with this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. But the only thing that is that second conference door has to be closed because it's a secure
Mhm.
area on that.
Yeah.
And the conference area is not secure.
Gotcha. All right.
And a comment I'll make, just so that Jerry understands that ham radio, we moved it 3 times already, and it makes really good sense right here. It has the doors where it opens, and the ham radio operators get the whole conference room as their office at that time. And then when they're done, put everything back, close the door, lock it up.
Yeah, I like it.
Sounds good, thank you.
Okay, council, I just need a motion on the floor, motion and a second to approve the floor plan that he has presented to us.
I make a motion to approve the floor plan as presented to us, and so we can receive floor plans from architect in the December meeting.
Gotcha. Okay, motion on the floor, Councilman Sanders, to approve the floor plan presented to us. Do I have a second? Second, Councilman Davis. All in approval, all in approval? All in approval? All in approval. It is unanimous. Okay, moving on to item 9, consider items related to FEMA Park and parking lot repairs and city road repairs for 2024 spring flood and the taking of any action required.
So, we've known for some time with Chief as to what those projects are, and at this point, we are still waiting for that funding to be provided to this project to move forward. That's all I have to report on that, unless you have something else, Chief.
The state says it's on its way, so, should be deposited anytime.
What is the deadline for the park work that has to be completed, right? So we were end of next year on the renovation and the expansion. Next month it has to be physically complete.
Yeah.
We don't have one.
And how do we get the extension then? If we're not gonna have the money and we don't know what.
Scott and I are gonna handle that. We just do a monthly, we do it, is it monthly or yearly? We do an extension, and we've done it before. I haven't personally done it, in real time. I have done it on a catch-up, but I'm sure I can figure it out. We'll be doing that next month. Because there's no way we're
I'd be impressed.
Okay. Any other discussion on this item? Okay, this will just be a no action item on item 9.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you. Before we move on to item 10, Councilman Ellis, they turned in a request to speak ahead of item 10.
Yeah.
Good evening. I was prepared to speak in the public comments, so my apologies if I didn't make that more clear. For those of you who don't know my name is Chris Ellis, and I had the pleasure of serving you as councilman. In 2019, a homeowner at Catacombs had a pool constructed. The permit was issued even though the contractor had not registered the plumber nor the electrician. During construction, the city notified the homeowner, who then instructed the contractor to resolve this issue. A few weeks later, the pool was completed, and upon completion, the city notified the residents that no inspections had been performed, and an affidavit of non-value would be placed on the property for non-compliance. You should note Liz Mullane's signature appears at the bottom of this affidavit. Around the same time, Bureau Horton began building in Section 4. The city waived inspections executed by Bureau Veritas and let the builder document in-house inspections. Many of those inspections were later found to be incomplete and caused subsequent problems. My issue is that we filed the affidavit of non-value against our residents for non-compliance, but let a builder who has a class action lawsuit filed against them build with no oversight. Both items could have been prevented with stronger leadership. I believe the resident was acting in good faith, and city administrator should have found a different avenue for them. The city should have, in my opinion, has gone after the contractor. But as we know, years before that, no one went after the contractor who dumped all that dirt in Hubbard Park. Given that there's been no incidents reported at the Catacombs address, I believe it's in the city's best interest to release the evidence with no responsibility. In closing, this year I encourage everybody to cast their votes carefully. You should be concerned if you re-elect Mr. Mullane. These kind of practices may continue and will regress the city. If I'm re-elected as councilman, I personally guarantee you I'll work to ensure this never happens again, as long as I'm on councilman. And to the person still in the signs or damaging the signs at Bull Salas and the old YMCA there in Splendora, stop, right? I'll report it, and I'm gonna make sure that you're held to the maximum punishment. I'm Christopher Ellis, and I approve this message.
Thank you, Councilman.
Welcome.
Moving on to item 10, discuss and consider possible action on the release of affidavit of non-compliance at 2615 Catacombs, Roman Forest, Texas. As you've heard what Councilman Ellis has said about this, you have paperwork in front of you, council, so we need to have a discussion on this.
Mayor, Mr. Trim is here
Oh, okay.
to speak on his behalf.
Sure.
Yes.
Sir, would you like to come up to the podium? You're welcome to.
My name's Ryan Trim. I'm the 2615 Catacombs resident. You had in front of you, I wrote an email that Mr. Castleberry gave y'all, kind of broke it up. The timeline of what everything happened with the pool and why we're in this situation. Went to refinance my house, pull some equity out, and with this affidavit, it's a lien of no value, is the way a title company looks at it, the way the mortgage company looks at it. I cannot refinance the house, I cannot sell the house until this is released. So I'm looking for some help.
All right, council. Y'all have any questions for me?
Lots.
Thoughts?
So with the information we received and the affidavit, there's a lot of statements that are made in there regarding no plumber or no electrician actually ever pulled permits, and they never actually called for inspections. So with that being said, I don't expect the homeowner necessarily to know everything that's required. I do expect the builder of the pool to know what's required. And I don't think the city is in a place that now, 7 years after it was built or 6 years after it was built, we can just waive the inspections. Obviously, it's been in use for that long, but my discussion I've had with the administrator is I would look to you to have a licensed electrician and a licensed plumber to come and inspect it after the fact and give us a certified letter that says they have inspected it and it is in full compliance with the requirements at the time it was constructed. So it doesn't have to be brought up to code today, but whatever the code was in 2019, that's what they should have built to. So the gauge of the wire, the size of the breaker, the size of the pump, the size of whatever it was, you need to present something to us that says that it was in fact installed to code at the time it was installed.
So you're still gonna hold me accountable for
We
something?
can't do otherwise, right? If we waive the requirement, somebody dies in that pool, and we said, oh, it's okay, that's not acceptable, so I don't think the city should take that
I don't
responsibility.
understand how you say that. Say if the city can prove that there were no inspections done, what would responsibility for the city?
Because you're asking us to sign off to waive the non-compliance letter. The non-compliance says there was no inspections, and there haven't been any inspections. So for us to remove the non-compliance, it needs to be inspected.
So, because.
We don't know that a licensed electrician
The
installed it.
builder, the contractor that, you know, went to jail and, you know.
For fraud.
Yeah, fraud, like big time fraud, so.
So again, I don't know that he used a licensed electrician. If he was fraudulent in his practices, he may have used a neighbor that was an
The electrician
electrician.
came into the city and paid fines.
I'm sorry?
The electrician came into the city and paid fines.
I don't, from the document I have, it says that no electrical permit was ever pulled. and
Correct,
no plumbing
the
pulled.
electrical permit was not pulled, but the additional permit was pulled, right? Correct?
The one I have, and I'm not saying this is accurate, but the one that I have a copy of says that there was no electrical permit and there was no plumbing permit.
So what permit was pulled?
Just the pool permit itself from the pool builder, but not the actual electrician and not the actual contractor failed to register and pay permit fees. Contractor received citations. No inspections were completed to verify that the pool conforms to International Building Code, National Electric Code, International Residence Code, and other applicable city ordinances. Inspector has not deemed it structurally sound or safe for human use. So to me, we can't just say we're taking this off the books. It still needs to be inspected.
So I've reached out to the inspection company that y'all have, right?
Bureau Veritas.
Correct. How come they have not come by? Like for 3 weeks, I had tried to get somebody to come by, I have sent pictures, like, and is this a common practice that we do, is we put half-rails on people's houses? Like, is that?
Again, this
common?
was 6 years ago, so I can't tell you, but we should be enforcing our ordinances.
Well, that's what it was, that's why. This was something that was standard to happen.
That's correct. It still is.
Yes, it's
Right? Today, if you were to build a pool, you would still have to have it inspected, and we would still have to
I'm
have
not
that
saying
signed
that,
off
I'm
on
not
it.
saying that we
Close
should
the
have
permit.
that. I get it, but we were under the impression that everything was getting inspected.
Understand, but your contractor lied to you.
You know,
Yeah.
not your fault.
That's not our fault either.
But I'm being held responsible, so you want me
You
to,
do
you want me
absolutely
to
not.
hire somebody else, you want me to spend more money?
That's correct. Your issue is not with the city. Your issue is with your contractor that's in jail. That's not our fault. If-
It's their fault, because look, we,
I understand.
look, no, listen to this, okay? So we hired a local licensed pool builder at that time.
That's correct.
Very, very reputable at that time. All right? He pulled the permit. Roman Forest called me to try to set up inspections of, hey, when is this gonna happen? When is this gonna happen? I said, talk to the contractor. That happened in April. I never heard another thing from the city until September. Why? Like, why did we let that happen?
Why did your contractor let that happen?
Well,
It's not our responsibility.
Well,
I understand your frustration.
You never heard from them because there never was an electrical permit pulled.
Correct.
So they have nothing to go inspect. In their mind, that work.
Well, they said they were in the middle of changing code enforcement people and that they dropped the ball.
This is.
That's what we
That's
heard from the
exactly
city.
what I was
That's what we
told
heard
from
from
the
the
city.
lane.
It was like, hey, we dropped the ball, we understand your pool
And they said we
tractor.
didn't want to punish.
We don't want to
you.
punish the resident, but yet here we are punishing a resident, like.
So what do you expect the city to do if the contractor, let me finish please. What do you expect the city to do if your contractor doesn't follow the city ordinance? We're supposed to just
They go
ignore
back to the
it?
contractor, not the resident.
We don't have a contract with him, you do. We don't pay him, you do.
He pulled the.
No.
You
He
should hold
pulled
him
one
responsible for that.
permit, he pulled one
He
permit
started the
out of
process,
three.
but he didn't follow the process.
He
You
did
didn't
not
know
follow
that.
None of the things
I
we
never heard.
Yeah.
Although I came up and served notice to us when we were told that, hey, the pools, y'all have a permit.
You as the
So I
owner.
got with the contractor came up here, pulled the permit, and then just did nothing
One
else.
permit, he did not pull all three. He
I
did.
didn't know that.
Okay, but that's,
I said he pulled.
that
the
is
permit.
a civil issue between you and your contractor. You were informed, according to this affidavit, that the permits were not pulled. They went and told them.
We weren't aware it was that big in our house.
I can only tell you what this affidavit says. It says the homeowner was informed that the electrician and the plumber did not pull their permits and that there was a requirement to do that and it was never done. And when it wasn't done, they wouldn't close the permit and they filed the
I'll tell you right
affidavit.
now, nobody here worked with me on this. Had somebody worked with
I'm
me
not
on this,
denying that.
had somebody worked with me, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Mayor, rather than sit here and point fingers at each other, what is a workable solution? And I'm asking Mr. Francis this question.
Yes.
What is a solution that we can resolve this issue with our residents, but also the city's protected from the liabilities.
We
Wouldn't be
need evidence that the pool is within compliance. We have to have evidence that says that the pool is within code.
So that's like tearing some of our pool, or what's
No, 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 no.
Because that's why you see the water.
I'm not sure how it has to happen from where it is, but we need to have evidence from some engineer, licensed electrician, plumber, that says, yes, this pool was built properly to code.
There's nothing
That's-
constructive
that's
that's
what-
required, right? An electrician can go out there and check the wire gauge, it'll be written on the wire. They can check that the right size breakers, they can check that an outdoor rated box was used.
So it's
They
like
can
a
check
final
the size
inspection,
of the
so come do
motor.
the
They can
final,
check-
so come do the final
So that's
inspection of the
two
pool.
That's correct.
I mean, go ahead.
That's all.
So can we get with Bureau Veritas, explain the situation?
He knows the situation, he was going over there, he just hasn't gone over there yet.
Okay, can we have them look at this pool, possibly comp the fees that would normally be associated with it, since there was a mistake somewhere, so that we can resolve the issue for them?
But he's already said we'll go over there and look at it. His problem is that the electrical and things that he would need to see are under cement.
That may not be the group, that may not be the vendor to do this. That may be, they are not, that's not what they do. They see things before. It may be someone else we're gonna have to find that can verify the wiring, verify the grounding, and verify the.
I think you're gonna need a license.
Given that there's things that aren't.
You will.
that aren't
Because
easily
I don't know
seen.
that Bureau Veritas is the best source to use on this.
We just need evidence. We need evidence that
That's what
says
we-
yes.
Bureau
Before we can
Veritas
do-
is only going to inspect to plans that they have to check against. So if it says 12 gauge wire, they make sure it's 12 gauge wire. They are not going to tell you, this should have been 12 gauge wire out of the blue. They need something to check against. A licensed electrician will tell you with this voltage and this distance, it should be this size wire. I think you can get any licensed electrician, there are a number of them that work here in the city regularly, and any licensed plumber, there are a number of them that are residents in the city, to go over there at a reasonable fee. They don't have to tear anything apart, but somebody has to sign off that says, yes, this meets code and it's safe to use.
That's the only way we can release.
And I don't doubt that it's safe.
That's the only way we can release it.
Our kids live in it, but they're fine.
Right, but you can't expect the city to take liability and say
I don't
everything's
understand
okay if we have a document right here in this affidavit that says it is specifically not authorized to use.
So really, that's,
So I have to
And
that's
pay
it.
for
We
a
just
plumber to
need,
come over and have to pay for an electrician to come over and more money.
question, this affidavit was filed in 2019, September of 2019. You got a copy of it then?
Nope.
I was never invited.
We just now
The
found out
last
when we
phone
went
call
to
that I
your house.
talked with, the person up here at the city at the time, they told me that they would get back with me, that they might have to sign me something showing that the city was not liable. That was the last conversation I had, was never invited to this. Didn't know about the affidavit because
We just
I just tried to pull the equity out of my house and I can't.
We've had other things with other residents. Do we not have a process that anything that we send to Montgomery County Appraisal District or the tax office, that it also goes to the homeowner by certified mail?
I can't.
I know this is
We
6
haven't
years
had a
ago.
case like this since I've been here. So I can't.
But we will,
I can't
right? So
speak
we're
for
gonna have the
practices
issues with
from
people not knowing their
2019.
lots.
I'm gonna say the title company's been doing it for 25 years. The
They've
lady
never
told me,
seen
she
this.
said she's never seen anything like this, ever. The guy I'm working with, Chase Mortgage, said he's never seen anything like this, ever. He said usually they'll hold the contractor,
Not really.
not the resident.
I'm not saying it was the right thing to do, but I'm saying it's been done and we can't just ignore it.
yeah, no, I agree. We cannot release the affidavit until we have proof that it is up to the building codes of that time. We have to have proof of that.
So when I get proof of it, do I have to come to another meeting? Because I was like, because he just lost $2,000 missing out on work being here tonight over this.
I don't
And
think
take
y'all-
off.
You're not gonna have to come back here,
but it does need to be on the council.
Yeah, it needs to be, I don't think y'all need to be here, but if you get
Just
proof,
resident, just get proof and
get proof,
And bring it up.
bring it up to Scott, he'll put it on the agenda, When council looks at it,
So we
They
have to
can-
wait until it comes up again, so we're gonna
We're
use the
posting
850 on
November
refinance.
15th for the next council.
17.
Well, we were supposed to sign our refinance on the 21st of this month, we're about to get another 850 because of it.
Understand?
Something that wasn't our fault.
That's the next meeting. That's if you approve it, moving it up.
yes.
So we can approve it contingent on having a licensed electrician and a licensed plumber's approval. And that gives you the ability to sign off on it.
I'm thinking,
I suppose, I mean, it's not gonna change, it's not gonna make a difference because it's, you're saying approve tonight pending.
We're approving the process. If they give
Passing
us
inspection, passing the final
two
inspection.
past final
If they
inspections,
pass the final inspection,
if they present
if
us-
there is evidence showing, I think we need to review the evidence. I'm sorry, I understand it's a frustrating process.
So we have to wait till the 15th.
It's 17.
17th. Yes, ma'am. We don't have anything coming up before that.
I want to ask you again, this is the only vehicle for the protection of the city that we have. There's not another option.
There
protect
other
the city.
than to protect,
To protect the city.
well, the only legal way to lift the affidavit of non-compliance is to have council review evidence that shows conformity. That it shows that there has been, compliance has been made, and that the pool was built according to the city's codes. The city has adopted the international electrical codes, international plumbing codes. So, short of seeing evidence that that has been remedied, that is the only legal way of lifting the affidavit of non-compliance.
Could council delegate that review
just to,
to somebody?
To expedite the process, you mean?
I'd like to just make a comment that this pool builder had lawsuits filed against them and went to jail for fraud. I'm not comfortable with signing off on anything that's not inspected by a licensed electrician and licensed plumber, because there is reason to suspect he did things that were fraudulent, or he wouldn't be in jail.
Yeah, so we could actually, we could approve, so how about this? So once those documents are brought to City Hall, we can have our third-party inspector review them. And if they are in agreement, then we can release that affidavit. Council could give me the authority to release that affidavit after Bureau Veritas approves that. Is that correct?
I mean, the council needs to see it. I mean, if that's the council's.
Yes. Council's just looking for proof that the
The council just needs proof. Correct.
And if our third-party inspector agrees with the documents that they
That would
bring
suffice
us,
as proof. Yes.
that's an option to expedite this.
And the only thing I would offer there is, y'all pay for the plumber and the electrician to do the inspection, we'll pay for Bureau costs to review the documents.
Yes, and that could speed this process up.
And you don't have to wait till the 17th of
You
next
wouldn't have to
month.
wait till
It's up
council.
to you how quick you can get a licensed electrician and a licensed plumber. Right, and just have them give us something that's certified or a notary stamp on it that makes it official.
Something.
You can have notarized up here, right?
Yes.
So just something that makes it official with their Texas contractor license number on it.
Mhm.
And that way it can be expedited. It won't be that expensive. I know it's not free, but it's an hour of their time, so $150, $200 each.
We'll cover the cost of our inspector to review the documents, and if everything's in order, council will have given me the authority to release the affidavit. If that's satisfactory to you,
That's, I mean, we got to.
That's
We
our
got a
only,
solution, that's why we came here, we have to have a solution, so I've got to get this.
yeah, that's our only avenue I see.
Yeah,
We
we
can
can't
get this
sell, we
resolved.
can't refinance, nothing.
I'm not saying what happened was right, but it's where we're at, and we can't just waive it now that it's been filed. And then, Scott, we'll have to expedite getting a copy of our release to Montgomery County and then notifying their title company.
Yes.
So that it's recorded as quickly as possible.
Yes. So priority.
That's true. Are we, the licensed plumber, the licensed electrician should be registered with the city, so we know that they're legit people. That means Ryan's gotta find people that follows the same protocol as the other. I'm not trying to put anything else on the trims, but if we don't follow that,
Yep, I know.
then I don't know who, if they're not registered with the
Should you
city.
give them a list of names?
There's a
You
lot
have a
of
list of
electricians.
There's not a dozen of them, does have a list of names. And I'm sure that,
I think Ready Electric was.
yeah, I mean, there's people out here that do work.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue with all the remodels and construction.
What are you requiring from Veritas to say that they're signing off when they bring it up? I mean, is that another right, sir? Well, that's Scott, really.
Yeah.
When they bring the documents up and Mike from Bureau Veritas comes and looks at it, what are you gonna require from him to say, yes, I'm signing off that that's safe?
I mean, he has to make sure that it, has to verify that it is in compliance with the International Building Code that the city follows.
So 2019.
A 2019 International Building Code that was in place at the time.
So I'm asking, do you need a letter from him? Do you need, what are you asking for from him?
Yeah, a letter would be.
We
I
don't
mean,
really
we
have a
just
form
need-
for this.
We need, the general, the requirement is evidence. So if basically that is, evidence is what anything that, would convince the council or a delegated member, the mayor, that yes, everything is in compliance. So if that is a letter from Veritas that's saying, yes, I reviewed it, I say in my expertise that everything is in compliance with the 2019 electrical and plumbing codes, mayor says, that's evidence to me, then yes.
So I think what they're gonna have to do is this last sentence, they're gonna have to be able to say, as the inspector, we deem it structurally sound.
Sound
And safe. Right, so they need to retract the statements that's on this page of the affidavit that says it is not structurally sound.
And if Veritas does not do that, then we're right back to.
Well, I mean,
They'd have to bring it to council.
Yeah, if they're not willing to deem it structurally sound and safe, then we don't have a way to move forward.
Yeah, well, we would have the letters from the electrician and the plumber, the license, that could be brought to the council meeting. Sure. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But I don't think you're gonna have a problem with them if you've
I
got
wouldn't think so. You have a licensed electrician.
reputable companies that say that it's correct and they've inspected it and they're willing to put it in writing.
Yeah.
That puts the onus on those inspectors.
Yeah, when did we adopt the new building codes? So it's been since then, so this only has to be compliant with 2019's building code. Yeah. Okay, language for the motion that needs to be made, Scott?
Basically say it would be moved to delegate the mayor as the authority to review evidence presented by Veritas or licensed electrical and plumbing inspectors that the pool that was constructed is in compliance with the 2019 electrical and international electrical and plumbing codes in place at the time.
You get all of that? You did?
Check out another recording. from
So,
YouTube.
is council ready to act on it? Because what he just read, I just need a motion to.
Yes, I am prepared.
Okay.
So I would like to make the motion that, using the language from our attorney, that we move to approve and release the affidavit, or at least giving to delegate the authority to the mayor and the authorized authorities.
Okay, Councilman Ford, Councilman Davis.
Second.
Second, Councilman Parton. Any other discussion, council? All in approval? All in favor of approval? So it is unanimous. I just want y'all to approve everything. It is unanimous. Okay, so we'll expedite our side of it. Just yeah,
So just get with y'all on,
I'll get what's done.
okay.
So please, when it is signed off on by the mayor and the administrator, y'all need to get a copy to your title company, and we need to get a copy to the taxing authority the same day if we can.
Yeah, that's not a problem, it's the turnaround time for them at that point.
That we can't control, but y'all can ask to walk it through at that point, give a copy of everything that it's been recorded there.
We will make it happen as fast as we can once we get those documents from you guys. Yes, thank you. Council, moving on to item 11, discuss and consider approval of moving up the November city council meeting that was scheduled for November 24th. We would like to move that to November 17th. So just pull it back a week, so
Any discussion needed, or we can just make the motion?
whenever y'all are ready.
I'd like to make the motion that we approve moving it to November 17th. If there's no objections.
Motion on the floor, Councilman Davis, to move the November meeting from November 24th to November 17th at 6 p.m. Do I have a second? Second, Councilman Ellis. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous.
Catch the next one at the same time.
Item 12, discuss and consider approval of moving up the December city council meeting from December 22nd, 2025 to December 15th. Motion on the floor, Councilman Davis, to move the December meeting from the 22nd back to the 15th. Do I have a second? Councilman Reasoner, second. All in favor of moving that December meeting? It is unanimous. At this time, council, we are going to adjourn into closed executive session. We can do this under the Texas Government Code, Section 551.074 of the Texas Open Meeting Act. We are going to deliberate and discuss personnel, which would be city administrator.
YouTube, is there like a station where
We're
the
good.
sign pops up?
Well, no, we good?
Yes, sir.
All right, at this time, council, we are back in our regular, council meeting, time's 8:33. We are looking at item 15, vote on matters discussed in closed executive session. Let's take them in order. No, let's take them the way we did them. So the first one will be the agreement between the City of Roman Forest and Thornberry Development, Southern Oaks Water System. This is for development phase 2, section 4. Is council ready to take any action on this? So if you are, I will just need a motion.
So just to clarify with you real quick, so it was delete the FEMA Exhibit E. It was to change the verbiage on item H. What was the third one?
Count on lots. The count on lots, that 18.
Count on the lots to 18.
Well, to update Scott Francis'
Spreadsheet, yes, okay. So any motion made would just be with the understanding that the changes we have discussed will be acted on, will be completed. So I will just need a motion and a second.
I'll try this. So, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agreement between the City of Roman Forest and Thornberry Development, Southern Oaks Water Systems for development in phase 2 of section 4 with the addendums of deleting Exhibit E and the update to verbiage on item H as discussed and recorded, and the update of the count of lots to 18, and a note that the spreadsheet of Mr. Francis will need to be updated.
Sounds correct. That motion on the floor, Councilman Pardon, do I have a second on that motion?
I'll second.
Second, Councilman Sanders. Any other discussion, council? All in favor of approval? It is unanimous. Say Brian finally.
Thank you.
That was a process.
I appreciate you working with us on
Yes,
this.
sir. We do, actually, yes.
It's been a very fair contract all the way through.
Yes, sir. I look forward to it, and some of y'all didn't meet David. I know Greg met him doing well, and so did Mayor, but he wants, I know he wants to see us through, so he put a lot of time into it, so.
Yes.
That's the goal. I plan to still be here for several more years to finish what we got.
Good deal.
So, thank y'all.
Yes, sir. All right, council, the second thing that we discussed was the city administrator performance review and possible raise, possible pay increase, cost of living increase. Are you ready to act on that? I just need a motion and a second for whatever amount.
We discuss the value or just the value as discussed in the executive session?
We can do it as a percentage of the salary. We can approve whatever percentage you want to motion of the salary. So whoever wants to make that motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make the motion to give Mr. Castleberry a 5% increase on his annual salary.
Okay, motion on the floor, Councilman Ellis. After the performance review, the city administrator to give him a 5% salary increase. Do I have a second? Second. Councilman Davis. All in favor of approval? It is unanimous. City concerns, future agenda items.
Septic system ordinance.
Septic system ordinance.
And I am going to try to have ready a tree preservation ordinance that I need to get with Jerry for a draft. And then I would like to consider, do we have a lighting ordinance? So I think that's something we need to work on. One of us needs to take that maybe commercial lots need to have dimmable lights that after, say, 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. or something, that they reduce their output to a certain
I have done
level.
that twice, no, 3 times. I've done this 3 times, to have twice to businesses and once to residents to point the light down.
I mean, just-
because it is against the state law to be blinding drivers.
Right.
But I think we need to set just a limit of how bright they can be if we're going to have more commercial development over time, not necessarily for residential, but for commercial, that a maximum output per light and that they need to be dimmable after a certain hour.
I'd like to see what some other cities have, yeah.
I mean, we're not gonna go to night sky ordinances where everybody has to turn their lights off at 9 o'clock, but it needs to be something reasonable for homeowners and for drivers. The people that are living next to the Exxon one on Tram, right, I can't imagine how bright that is, even with the,
We hadn't had any complaints to that one, but we had complaints on this one.
There's so many lumens.
All right, any other, future agenda items?
So the 17th, we will canvass and we will swear in,
Yes.
new council, or old council.
Yes.
Or members of the council.
That is correct.
I think we need to do the zoning, how we're gonna appoint a committee for the zoning, that time, since we have our new councilman in.
and we can't use the city council for the zoning board until we adopt a different zoning board if we choose to, correct?
The sitting council for the zoning board until there's a,
So
until new council.
We can either say that the city council members, whoever those are the zoning board, and then in the future, if we want to create a separate zoning board,
Absolutely.
that's either council members or citizens or a combination, we can do that.
Absolutely, yeah, and I was intending to give a kind of PowerPoint presentation of how you can start implementing your.
I think that'd be very helpful.
Thank you.
So that would be December meeting then.
We had,
I
it's
had,
supposed to have been.
I started
Yeah,
working.
Pushed it for the election.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you want to move his presentation to December?
No, I'm just asking when are you gonna be?
I think
You're
think
good.
we can do it by November.
Okay.
November will be a busy, it'll be a good night.
Why don't we put it on there, and if it gets pushed, it gets pushed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there you go.
But if we don't put it on there, then we can't discuss it.
I think one of the things I'd like to see, I'm familiar with a couple of the different septic systems.
Okay.
But it would be nice to see if there was somebody that could come give us a small, short talk on the kinds of septic systems that are available on the market today, and the pros and cons.
Have you talked with any septic companies that you're thinking of using for the builder, or are you leaving that up to the builder?
I've dealt with Pumpco, which is out of Cleveland, Sonora area, and the only reason I went with them is because they were pretty reputable in this area.
Would you mind seeing if they're willing to come to a council meeting and just give a very high-level overview of the different types of septic systems?
Yeah, I'll reach out to them.
If they have, you know, with construction, we call it a lunch and learn, where they educate their contractors on, or their developers on what they do.
Okay.
Something very high level.
Yeah, I'll reach out to them, next week or think something, okay, next week.
And I'll put them at the beginning.
Okay, yeah, I will.
Okay.
I won't be here the next meeting I have.
He's not aware on the subject.
You want to do it on the December meeting?
Until December.
We'll probably do it on December meeting.
December.
Okay.
15th.
Don't you think we should have that before we approve the ordinance on the septic system?
Not necessarily.
I don't think it'll change anything. I think it's just educating us on.
I know,
You can always make
We always-
adjustments to it.
We always get it in place, right? And if we need to tweak it, we can do that.
We need,
I understand the benefit of both, so.
but, you know,
we need something.
We need something in place, at least, kind of like we've done in the past on others. We need at least something, a starting point, and if we need to come back and modify it based on what we learned, then we can do that, right? But
Yeah, that and Councilman Reasoner requested it, he can't do the meeting, so I'd rather do that while he was here since it was his request.
I'll be here in December.
Yes. All right, council, if there's no other future agenda items, I just need a motion and a second to adjourn for the evening.
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting tonight.
Motion on the floor, Councilman Sanders, to adjourn for the evening, second by Councilman Reasoner. All in favor of adjournment? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's unanimous. This meeting is adjourned at 8:42.
Hey,
4 o'clock.
before y'all leave, I want to let y'all know,